on this week's episode of The Chris and Andre Show. Pop culture.
All right, so film of the year. The Matrix is not on the ballot because, wow, what a crap fest.
I broke it into 2 days because I lost so much interest the first day.
If I weren't in a movie theater having paid money for it, I would have done the exact same thing.
My grandfather watched it with me, and he's 82, 83 now.
Yeah.
He's never walked out in a movie in my life.
Yeah.
He halfway through, he's like, Mijito, can we start this tomorrow? I just need to take a break. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. So it is. I have so much to say about it. I don't know where to start. One, just starting from number one,
Yep.
It shouldn't have happened. No one asked for this fucking movie.
Right.
Nobody fucking asked for this movie.
Nobody. There was not a single person out there who was like, what we really want is another Matrix movie.
Seeing Keanu sit in an office with a bunch of other nerds telling them how the Matrix trilogy meant to them and how they saw it, I felt pain for him because I'm like, he's not acting.
No,
he's actually suffering right now.
Like
he's suffering because the only time he was ever Keanu was at the end when he was happy the movie was about to end. Like, everything else was just depressing, man. I felt bad for him. I wouldn't even be surprised if that was his real blood coming out of his mouth because he was cringing his teeth so fucking hard.
So I was going to say, like, just caveat, right, for those watching, this is not going to be like our Spider-Man No Way Home review, which was 100% spoiler-free. I give no shit.
Because we're trying to save you for your fucking time.
This is not a movie that you need to watch, so we are going to spoil everything for you in the hopes that you don't end up in the same position that we did, sitting in front of a screen, wondering, how did I get here? And why didn't I take the blue fucking pill?
Chris, I just want to ask you a question real quick. So at the very end, it ends up being a whole big heist movie for no fucking reason. But
you mean the story where love conquers all?
No, that took a back seat. That wasn't even the focus of it. They were heisting all the way up to the point. They were like, oh yeah, that's right. Their secret power is love. I'm like, you don't. The whole thing about the last movie was that his powers were undefined and unexplained.
Yeah.
Hinting at a stronger evolutionary connection between man and machine. The singularity point. They fucked it up with like, ooh, Disney heart, love, touch female, get emotional aura blossom. Yeah. I hate that. I fucking hated that. And then the whole emasculine thing about Keanu not being able to fly anymore, but now she can. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, by the way, that's the end of that. She can fly now. Movie's over.
Yeah.
You don't need to understand how
they're like, oh wow, she's got powers now.
Yep. Boom, done.
Now I will say, I'll try to my best to give this movie credit when it can have it, not where it's due. When it can have it. All the scenes with the mechanical beings, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the technology. I love seeing more of the real world, of the robotic world. You get a little more insight on how they work and how they relate to each other. Instead of just being stupid drones like the ones that kill people, they actually have personalities inside their little bodies, which is kind of cute.
Which is nice. I mean, like, that was a good element. I know Andre's like
Having that said, what is up with a Transformer-esque little bullshit robot on the fucking computer that is a fist bump? What is its purpose? Does it add to the movie? Does it add to anything? No, it wastes screen time.
Does nothing.
He's like, oh, good job, bro. I'm like, why? Also, if a dude can physically or mentally project himself into the Matrix and see things and interact with things, why be in the Matrix?
Right, why would anybody ever physically be there?
Because I was waiting for the point where Neo saw him and looked at him and talked to him, because that would have been like, oh, that's a Neo thing. But it was like, no, he literally was never put in jeopardy. No one ever saw him. He would just like go through this little mirror because he's like, perspective. The closer you are, the bigger it is. I'm like, stop.
Also, doesn't make like no logic, physics. No.
I get it. He can bend reality, but they all can't do that.
Right? No, and that wasn't even like him bending reality. That was just like perspective. It's a thing, brah.
Oh, what is the deal with the Mr. Frenchman?
Oh yeah,
what was the deal with him coming back? What was the point of him?
Okay,
what was the point of him? Besides the cameo,
we leave the movie, and I'm like, so was I supposed to understand what that fucking homeless dude was talking about? Like, I didn't.
Bitching.
I was like,
he was like, we were beautiful, we were so elegant, so sophisticated, and look at me now.
So American right now, and I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And she's like, he was speaking French, and I'm like, it wasn't clear that he was speaking French.
He was speaking French a little bit with a lot of bad accent.
Exactly.
He was bitching. He was bitching about how Neo took away his millions.
It didn't fucking. That was my whole point. Was like, at the end of the day, it didn't fucking matter because it was all fucking garbage. Like,
He wanted his orgasm cake back. That's all it was. He was pissed that he didn't get that. He lives in a trap. Okay, I get it. They're kicked out. You know, they've been purged, right?
Yeah.
You know, they survived. Why are they dressed like shit? Why are they dressed like Mad Max Recon Edition rejects?
And why are they somehow equally as
super strong,
as combative as these other people? And
you know how it is. Every Windows update, your old files are harder to delete. But I'm like, holy shit, dude. And okay, I hated what they did with Smith.
Okay, see, that's funny because he was one of the few parts of the film that I actually really liked.
No, get me right. I liked his acting. I love how he's bantering. I love to talk to him. But I hated how they were just like, oh, he's Smith.
No, I did.
Why?
But it was obvious. It was obvious.
Well, the whole thing about Smith is that he was a virus to the program, and he was going to destroy the Matrix. Right. If you have him again, his natural instinct would be to destroy the Matrix.
Well,
and I know he played that statement saying, "Oh, well, they had me in a cage, but now I'm free." Yeah. I'm like, but you're not doing anything. You're just sending zombies at people.
Yeah.
The zombie thing.
That wasn't him. That was Neil Patrick Harris.
Therapist. Yeah.
Well, the first time it wasn't him, and then it was him the second time.
No, it was both him.
No, the car chase scene.
NPH
he digitized.
Called swarm mode right before he got blasted in the face.
And what was the point of that? If he's going to get shot, why is he still alive?
Exactly. Didn't matter. Stupid.
Can all programs choose not to fucking die?
So fucking stupid.
Oh.
So fucking
And the black cat
stupid.
Apparently is like the backdoor key to controlling the Matrix?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's just any black cat. It's not a cat being seen twice. It's just a black cat named Deja Vu.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many, literally, like, shot for shot. Remember when we did this in the first Matrix? Like, the Agent Smith over the top, the gut punches, right? With the
the fight scenes, yeah.
Literally the exact same thing. Then they got so fucking lazy that they literally just took clips from the first movie and were like, remember this? Remember this? This
all
was
the time.
Most
of the whole thing was, oh, let's explain what we're talking about by showing you straight cutouts.
God, that movie was so fucking irritating.
Dude, I was like, what the hell is that? Like, when they first introduced the first agents, and you get to see that one black agent, I'm like, whoa, okay. What's going on here? That's weird.
But different
and then
looking
they went
agents,
on.
which
There's various forms of white men, which is very agent-esque. But when you see that one black one, you're like, there's something about you. It's too obvious. And
also,
then when he's supposed to be like he's a
racist
Morpheus.
Is it that it's like, oh, I'm a black guy who has a slightly smaller gap between my front two teeth. So I'm Lawrence Fishburne light, like
right. But no, he did really. Okay,
I loved him.
In defense, he's a great actor. He did really good in Candyman.
He was good. Like,
that's the kid from Candyman. Yeah.
No, in this movie, he was okay. Like, I liked him. I'm not saying like Morpheus was done well, but I liked him. Like,
if I'm correct, the whole idea of him was that Neo inside the Matrix created a pocket Matrix where he was replaying his memories, and he made a version of Morpheus and Smith together right?
Something like that.
That was the whole. That was the whole purpose. Like, yeah, because he said the balance. He's like Morpheus and the Smith. Two philosophies battling each other for making perfect chaos. I'm like, okay, why aren't they doing more with you? Because that's a cool concept.
Yeah, they
that should have been the fucking movie.
Especially with him and Smith. They should have, when they met, they should have been like, something's off with him.
Smith should not have been able to like manhandle him in the movie.
No.
You're right. There's a lot. Like that movie was like it was a money grab.
No, but see, like it's funny because when we talked about Ghostbusters before, and I know you haven't seen Ghostbusters yet, right?
I will see it this week.
Yeah, which is fine. But I'm just saying, like, you haven't seen.
What
it
about
yet.
Spider-Man?
I'll probably watch it this week.
Okay, you need to because we need to talk about it.
You had your concerns that Ghostbusters was primarily done as a money grab, right? And that, like, the way that they handled all of the nostalgia elements of it was done poorly. And I just can't help. I texted you guys after I saw it, but, like, Ghostbusters was 10,000 times better than this. I
would say the thing about Ghostbusters is that the trailers made it look like that. Like it wasn't going to be a cash grab for nostalgia.
I can understand that, yeah. And when you want to talk about trailers, the trailer for this movie had me sold. Like, I watched the trailer and I was like, all right, like, that looks like they're going to tell a cool freaking story. Yeah. I want to go watch this.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be more grounded.
No. We're just going to blow it all out the fucking window. We're going to make it some stupid fucking love story.
The first 30 minutes was nonstop action for no reason.
That's why I don't put stock in trailers. Like,
and then an hour and a half of nothing. And then 30 minutes of
action. And they never explained why the Asian girl was a perfect match for Trinity's brainwave.
That didn't make...
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
She revealed her stupid rabbit tattoo, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Didn't mean... It wasn't like he was like, oh, whoa.
So what we're saying is...
That was funny when he did punch him. He's like, I remember kung fu. I was like, yeah.
So that's the thing, cool. Right? There were elements, there were moments in that movie where I'm like, that's cool, that's neat. Mm-hmm. And then there were the other parts, like the over the head, like the helicopter scene, right? With the shells raining down.
When he's blocking the bullets. Yeah, and the bullets coming from different angles. That was cool.
No. I'm talking about like where it's the up shot.
Oh, getting showered of bullets. Like Terminator.
No, but it was the exact same shot from the first movie. But it was Morpheus or him, Neo, who's standing in the helicopter blowing away all the agents to save Morpheus.
So the issue that I think with the movie was it was one of the Walkowski sisters. Yeah. Like it was a comeback tour.
Yeah.
Right. And
that no one asked for. I don't even think they asked for it.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why there's only one.
By the way, there were two of the Wachowski sisters involved in this.
Talking about that scene.
Not of the original set. One was the director, and different sister was a producer. And I'm not trying to do that whole like dead name crap because I don't want to play that game.
Right.
But it was a completely different sister. It wasn't the original team that actually did this movie.
Gotcha.
So the whole scene where they're sitting around talking about the next Matrix storytelling stuff.
Nobody cares about the Matrix anymore.
That was I was going to say that's so meta in a bad way because it feels like you're telling us, oh yeah, we know that this is bullshit, so we're just going to say it's bullshit, so it's okay. No, it's still bullshit. Like this whole none of this is purposeful.
What I didn't enjoy about the movie was like. It was beyond transparent at the first therapy session.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that's where you saw the glimmer of like how they like other people saw Neo. And I'm
right after that, when he was in the bathroom.
In the coffee table. No, it was at the coffee table.
Well, you saw the coffee table. Yeah,
coffee table, the mirror.
Yeah.
But that was the other thing that I was sitting there like, how fucking lazy is this stupid like Matrix? That they're created where there are these little glitches where he can see. Like I
would say, why don't they just make it where he sees his image as himself, so he doesn't connect what he thinks of himself in mind.
They tried to explain that with this whole stupid ISP. Like, let's make ISP stand for something different than what ISP actually said. Oh, it's the way that you perceive yourself within the Matrix and the way that others perceive you. Oh, my goodness. Like, oh, jeez, fucking Christ.
And then when he literally said bullet time, I almost
that was awful.
I was like...
Also, that makes no sense. Like... I use bullet time
using-
to control you. What? Like, he's the one that made bullet time possible, you dumb fucks. You can't.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, because he's
Exactly.
Neo. He breaks the system and
right,
does
so
that.
the whole point is that he's breaking the system. So if somehow you manage to create bullet time within your own system, he's gonna break that shit, you dumb fucks. It's just so
Which he never does.
lazy.
He never really does.
Fucking lazy. That's what I just cannot stand, the laziness. I'm sorry. It's so
The Matrix-
frustrating.
Even the coffee shop fight scene
was awful.
That was terrible.
I remember what I wanted to say. I remember what I wanted to say before this whole started. The one thing I had the biggest problem with is no one was in true
Nobody
danger.
died.
No.
Literally,
No
not
one
a
died.
single fucking person in the entire movie died. Not one.
Every extra on the side was like, "Oh,
He's
we're
gonna
alive.
get us all
We're
killed.
okay."
Yep, we're all gonna die. Oh nope, we're good. It's all good.
The dude being walking with a broken leg and a broken arm, still shooting from his hip
Yeah,
with a
he's
gun.
fine.
And I'm like, that's what I loved about the other Matrix. It was so
People actually
frightening.
died. They pulled them.
Yeah, one of these fucking octopus-looking things gets in the ship, and everyone starts dying.
Cypher pulled the plug on how many individuals, right? Like, just sat there and sort of yank, 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 yank. Done.
Oh, and then the whole fact that they're using magnetic marbles to bring the programs into the real world. That is such a open opportunity for Smith to just get back in, because that was his whole
yet we
thing,
did
wanting to get
nothing
into the
with
real world.
I give the Matrix an F+.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, it was just really, really bad. I mean,
it was nice seeing Neo. And
I
Trinity
disagree.
again.
I don't even feel like that was worth it. I feel like it ruined.
No. It was nice to see them. Like you went, like it was unfortunate to go to a family gathering. It's nice to see them, but they shouldn't be there.
The end of the movie was garbage because
that was even worse.
They go and harass Neil Patrick Harris
for no reason,
and they go fly off
just to show some quick CG where they cut his throat open.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
what?
slam him against. And the reference that she wants to kick your mouth off. That they had to bring that forward to pay it off for some reason.
Chekhov's gun, but you know.
Like what?
Next thing, so I give it an F-. What do you guys give? Or F+? What do you give it, Chris?
I won't even waste the ink grading this.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hate to say it, but that's kind of.
They
get a 0. They didn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's an incomplete.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what so many people did to the Ewok stories for Star Wars and never acknowledge it existing.
Which is funny because we talked about that last week with the whole Indiana Jones stuff, and that's where I think this movie ultimately is going to find itself. Like, I think that it just like with Indiana Jones, right? It had the highest hopes to deliver on a beloved franchise, and ultimately left more people pissed off and hating the fact that they ever bothered to bring it back up than anything. Like, I don't think that that anything was gained from making this movie. It was terrible. It was bad. It was just a bad fucking movie.
Yep.
And then it's like you really ultimately you double down because you tie it to such a beautiful original film in The Matrix, right? Mm-hmm. Like, say what you will about the second and third ones. I didn't particularly care for them. Second, slightly better than the third. But I had hopes that this was somehow going to revitalize that it was going to go back to some element, and probably in part because I'd been pleasantly surprised by Ghostbusters, because Spider-Man No Way Home, in my mind, had done such an excellent job on delivering on the high expectations. I thought, this is going to be the next one. This is like the three-peat that we're going to get this summer or this winter, and it just, I mean, it was nothing. Like,
So, question. When it comes to plot, did they ever actually tell you straight out what happened to New Zion?
No.
They didn't.
They basically said robots were fighting robots.
Yeah,
and now we don't want whatever happened to New Zion to happen to Io.
And they were saying some bullshit, saying Morpheus just didn't want to change, and he thought you were going to come back. But that doesn't explain why the city itself had to be abandoned.
It doesn't. We don't even know that it was.
Even if it is, does that? I would say, does that mean that it is around and they're just having a war between each other? That would be that would have been a nice little take. If both cities were fighting with the robots.
She did say that the robots just stopped. They left. And
initially.
Yeah, but they never said how they got to this new spot. Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. They said after the fight, they left,
and then everything fell apart in Zion because she was explaining that, like, Morpheus believed that because of everything that happened with Neo, that everything was going to be different. And so that even though there was this other group of machines that was forming who were apparently led by Neil Patrick Harris's character, that like he was like, oh, it's fine, no big deal. Yeah, so what? They're hanging out right behind us, so it doesn't matter. And then my guess is everything kind of fell apart there. But you're right, like they were never very specific to it. My guess is because blah 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 blah, they want to bring back Morpheus in another movie. Like,
okay, well here's the thing: they never made the city the city was never under any threat.
No, it was
the one that they were Io here.
Because they
No.
had figured out how to get more energy with Neo and Trinity. They didn't care.
It was basically implied that because they had what they needed with Neo and Trinity, that they didn't care that they had these other humans that were living outside, and because the humans were ultimately allowing them to do whatever the fuck they wanted.
To hear the rest, tune into this week's episode of The Chris and Andre Show.